Hey kiddos, it's Mr. Payne. I'm going to show you how we can use this graphic organizer to explode a moment. So you guys are pretty familiar with doing the explode the moment, as we've done it in class a couple days in a row now. But it's a really useful way to make our writing better, and it's something we're going to work on for a while, and it's important to me that you know how to use it, and important to you as writers that you learn how to get really good at adding details to your writing, so that you're not just writing one or two short, boring sentences like "I rode my bike to school, I got warm on the way," but that you can really develop something interesting. So here we go. I am going to go with this example. I rode my bike to school and I got warm on the way. Next question is, what does one of your characters look like? And I'm going to talk about this other guy who passed me on his bike. So there we go. I was passed by another biker. Then I'm going to explain sort of what he was wearing. He had a black POC helmet that probably cost $200 with a mirror off to the side. You can see I didn't just say he was wearing a black helmet. I said he had a black helmet with a mirror off the side. His head was further laden with a headlamp, and his bike had blinking tail lights. All right, so I actually have a couple different pieces of information. He's got a black helmet, he has a mirror, he has a headlamp, and his bike has blinking tail lights. Um, so a lot of details there, four different details about what one of my characters looks like. You can kind of see that I'm hinting at his personality too. What kind of biker has a $200 helmet and a mirror and a headlamp and a taillight? Is probably somebody who's pretty serious, considering they have all this gear and they spend all this money. Um, so that's kind of his personality, and then we'll talk about my personality. I caught up with him again as he was waiting at the red light on Washington Ave, and I was cutting through the old Walgreens parking lot on the wrong side of the road. Right? So this guy is a little bit more of a rule follower. He's waiting for a red light, and I'm kind of playing it fast and loose and cutting through a parking lot on the wrong side of the road. All right? So you don't have to come out and say, he seemed like the kind of person who would follow rules, but I am not. I've shown it here with my actions. Next question. What can a character see? So this was earlier in the story, and that's completely fine. These sentences don't have to go in order. We can put them in order later. So this is when I was on a path. The path was quite dark as the sun had just come up. I could only see the bumps, roots, and rocks and roots as they sped underneath my tires. So again, there are a few things I can see here. It's dark. The sun is coming up. We've got bumps, roots, rocks, roots, and this idea of looking down and seeing things moving underneath my tires. So while the question says, what can you see? And I could say one thing, I saw the path. I added more details. The path was dark, the sun had just come up, I could see bumps, rocks, roots, speeding by under my tires. Next question is, what can you feel? My fingers were numb, but my head was sweating. It was the first day all year that I decided to wear a hat, and with a helmet, it was just too much. So, again, I'm explaining multiple things. My fingers were numb, and it's the first day I decided to wear a hat. So that's telling you it's probably pretty cold outside, but then my head was sweating. So part of me is warm, but part of me is cold. And sometimes that's how you feel. Actually, almost all the time, that's how I feel. My feet are always freezing, while the rest of my body is pretty warm. Next question is, what can the characters hear? My lock rattled against the frame of my bike. I don't usually bring the lock mountain biking, but I needed it to park at the bike rack all day while I was at work. Again, this first part here, I heard my lock rattling against the frame of my bike. That would answer this question, but I gave it even more detail, explaining why I brought my lock. And then we have two more here. What does one of your characters say out loud? So sometimes you're telling a story where people don't actually talk out loud, or where you're alone. And it's okay, it's a story, to make something up. And I've made up that I was talking to myself. So what does one of your characters say out loud? A fallen tree suddenly blocked my path. I hadn't seen it because it didn't have any leaves left on the branches. That's interesting, I said to myself, even though it wasn't all that interesting, really. But it was just so quiet in the woods, I felt I had to say something. All right, so a couple tricks that I did here. I have what I said, and I used quotation marks on the sides because that's how you show someone is speaking, is using quotation marks there and there. And then, what did you hear, or what does one of your characters say out loud? Sometimes what you hear is quiet, right? Sometimes what you see is darkness, right? So, kind of adding that I'm talking to myself, but because it's so quiet in the woods, and I feel like, well, somebody's got to say something because it's just so quiet out here. All right, and then finally, what does one of your characters do? And I'm skipping around again. Again, things don't have to be in order. This one is about taking off my hat, and it actually comes after I talk about my head sweating. What does one of your characters do? I stopped, took off my hat, and shoved it into my pocket. I started pedaling again, but without the hat, my helmet was too large and it rattled around on my head. So I biked without using my hands and wobbled my way forward while adjusting my helmet. All right, so again, I stopped and took off my hat. That would answer this question, what does one of your characters do? But I add even more characters. I add even more actions. I take off my hat, I shove it into my pocket. Then I start pedaling. Then I have to bike without my hands because I'm trying to adjust my helmet. So those are all a bunch of different actions in a row, just adding more and more details. And so I'm just going to do it up here, but you would do it in a different spot. So now that I've done this worksheet, I can just use the copy and paste, Command C and Command V. I rode my bike to school. And then I think probably this would be the next sentence about being on the path. Command C, Command V. And then I think the next thing would probably be what I heard. And you can choose the order of your sentences however you want, wherever you think they should go. And then I think probably I came up to the fallen tree, copy, go up here, paste. Let's see. Came up to the fallen tree. And then I think that's when I finally got passed by this biker. And then I caught up with him again. Let's see. Oh, actually, never mind. This happened first. And that's okay. With copy and paste, you don't have to paste things at the end. I Command C, went right down here, and I can paste it right there. And after my fingers were numb, but my head was sweating, obviously, I took off my hat, so I can put that right there. Okay? And now from what was just a worksheet and just answering these questions, I put it together, and I'm just going to indent the beginning of my paragraphs because that's the right way to do things, except for the first paragraph. It's not necessary in the first one. And now I have a 4-paragraph little story with a bunch of details and some dialogue in it, and that looks pretty good. And so that's how you can use this worksheet to explode the moment. And I just wanted to make one more note, right? What can one of the characters hear? I could say, I heard my lock. Oop. I heard my lock rattling against the frame of my bike. I could say, I felt my fingers. I felt my fingers being numb. And I could say, I couldn't see the path. I couldn't see the path. And all of these statements, as it was quite dark. And that would be okay. But when you read all of these sentences in a row, it gets a little boring. I couldn't see the path as it was quite dark. I felt my fingers being numb. I heard my lock rattling against the frame of my bike. When you hear too many times in a row, I felt this, I heard this, I saw this, it gets a little boring. So instead, I can just say, instead of I couldn't see the path as it was quite dark, I could just say the path was quite dark. And instead of saying I felt my fingers being numb, I can just say my fingers were numb. Because that you can tell that I was feeling it. If they were numb, that's what I'm feeling. And my lock rattled. My lock rattled against the frame of my bike. And we know, because if it's rattling, that means that someone's hearing it to know that it's rattling. We know that the I is in there. So we can take out the I every once in a while if it's getting too repetitive. I felt this, I saw this, I did that, and we can rephrase those sentences. And then I'll just give you guys a sneak peek as we move into the rest of the week. Ooh, that rhymed. At the Explode the Moment next level challenges. So these are some things that not everyone's going to get to. Not everyone's going to get here. But if you're really excited about exploding the moment, or if you feel like you're done and you need an extra challenge to make it even more interesting and cool, this is what we're going to add on. We're going to add on smell and taste, which are more difficult senses, what a character's thinking inside their head, showing and not telling, upgrading verbs, and then down here, some fancy literary stuff that you might not even know what it is. You might not even know what hyperbole and a frame story and onomatopoeia are. Look at that, I repeated myself. We don't need hyperbole twice. Or alliteration, you might not know what these are, but you can figure it out. You can Google what is alliteration and figure it out and add it in. And it'll be really, really cool for you to go off on your own, learn something new, and create a really advanced detail for your story. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And there you go. That paragraph right there would be a pretty good example of an exploded moment.